what's in, have you seen
Ancient Apocalypse?
thank you. Have you seen that?
Adam for TikTok. Thank you. No, I haven't seen it.
Dude,
What is it about?
So good. So Graham Hancock, but he goes around and he pretty much disproves the dates that all these archaeologists are putting together, whether it's the pyramids. It was caused by a mass extinction. Like, that's pretty much the whole premise of the show, is he believes there was a mass flood, a mass extinction.
Okay, it's the one of the mass flood.
Right. And, again, this isn't far-fetched, because now we're starting to understand that in the rainforest, they're using LiDAR detectors. They're seeing that there was literally civilizations and villages in the rainforest. So
that's how they found all the cities, the Mayan cities there. Yes.
That's right. So, but again, we didn't know this a decade ago. So he's kind of saying that our civilization was way more advanced than we are currently. And then there was a mass extinction that happened, and it wasn't a meteor. It was this massive flood. And that's why, you look at Egypt and the pyramids and the Sphinx, where you could see there's water damage, and they could use that to date back when it actually happened. But archaeologists aren't agreeing with him. They're protecting the information they currently know, because the Egyptians, all the research they've done, think about it, for decades and decades, all the research would be disproven. So they've built their entire city and their infrastructure around this specific research. And then you get this white American. I don't think he's American, but it's funnier if he would be. But you get this white male that comes in trying to, change everything that they've done, and he just gets a lot of hate. But it's a fascinating documentary.
Here's my question. Why would you, supposedly it was true, why would you want to cover it all up? Like, you knew that, you're convinced that civilization was much ahead.
Yeah.
Why would you cover it up? Why don't you want to uncover it and get to the same point?
Well, and I think
right now the point of our civilization is watching 15-second videos of people dancing. What the fuck, man? That civilization?
Yeah. But dude, I think that's the point, is like, it kind of goes back to this whole thing of, I don't even want to mention gender, but you run into all these doctors that they're agreeing to doing these transformations, right? But they're doing them, and now a lot of people are getting a lot of blowback, and they're regretting having these done. But these doctors are sticking to their guns, saying that they made the right decision by changing them. And because if they say, I was wrong, they could lose their license. So it's kind of like that with the archaeology world, where it's like, if they say it's wrong and it's disproven, and they wrote these books and they're winning Nobel Prizes, essentially that Nobel Prize would be bullshit. Does that make sense?
You still got it. You had
right.
you had a theory with the tools that you had at the time. Now there's more information. It's okay. It can change. It's normal.
Yeah, but us Americans, man, we're selfish and weird, and we don't like to be wrong. So, but this is it, by the way. I wanted to check, but it is Graham Hancock's. So, Ancient Apocalypse. Go check that out, guys, if you really want to dive into some weird shit. But
if there is the worldwide, if there was a worldwide flood, then it is kind of biblical. It's kind of cool. That would be kind of cool.
I would think this new discovery is exciting, and he talks about this on the documentary, where he's like, why is he getting all this pushback? Because if you question everything, kind of like we're talking about now, it's like, it's cool to have these conversations to question it, because whether it's wrong or right, it might not even happen. But it's interesting to have that critical thinking of like, it could be something else. Because again, going back to the constellations and looking at the stars, it's like, there was one person that said, you know what, maybe they're not gods. Maybe they're just stars.
The church burnt them.
Right. Because he's a witch. He's a witch.
Mamma mia che palle. As much as I love the Vatican Museum, I feel that the church slowed us down by so much. And I'm saying this as a Catholic, okay?
Yeah.
And so much.
And not only that, but they have made some gnarly decisions in the past, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the way, that's the new Roman Empire, but that's another discussion.
I know. Sure is.
The other thing is the perfection of build, like all those blocks. Like, how the hell do you build that in such a slow time frame?
Yeah.
And you only have people.
Yeah.
Nah. Sure, you can do it, but
Well, and the weird thing with the pyramids, which I really love diving into, is going back to any other pyramids around the world. You look at the one in Antarctica. Did you know there's one in Antarctica?
I saw the conspiracy about that,
Yeah, but there's only like
but it's
one or two photos. Um,
submerged, like it's covered.
it's covered. Yeah, but here I'm gonna look this up. Pyramid aligns. So apparently,
Can you show it?
oh yeah,
Show
yeah.
it.
Let me
Show. I want
check
to
this
read
out.
too.
So the four faces of the Egyptian pyramid are precisely aligned with the four cardinal points of the compass. So in perspective,
Okay.
north, east, south, and west. So they are perfectly aligned. Given that the Egyptians never recognized a North Pole on Earth, they obviously didn't know it. They could have only done this by the means of the rotation, I'm assuming. I don't know why they wrote it like that, of the sky and the North Celestial Pole. But apparently they're aligned with the North Star perfectly.
All of them in the
see.
world.
I think
Do you
that's
think
the
it's the same
case.
civilization, or do you think it's just
Well, because then it goes back to, okay, so how exactly are they aligned perfectly with the compass when they didn't even know that existed? But when there's all these other ones all around the world, there was no way to communicate. It's not like they called each other and said, hey, let's build this structure.
well, the way of so let me play current society's advocate.
Yes.
At the time, the only way for, let's say, going around, figuring out how to go, like the general map that people had, pretty much all civilizations, were the stars.
True.
Even when it came to going around in a ship, it was all about the stars.
Yep. So that's how
It
they
was
were
all
able
about
to.
astrology.
Yeah.
So, just to put some science back into this. Okay, yes, it is fascinating that they're all interconnected, but we could also say that the stars was commonly used pretty much by all the societies of the world.
That's true.
However, the pyramid, what I was looking into was the fact that it wasn't really a tomb. Basically, if you looked at Egyptian tombs, they were full of stuff, full of messages, full of things that were specifically in a separate area. And then these guys built their own tomb. I don't know. I also looked into the Egyptian wording, which literally means like pyramid. The word pyramid in ancient Egyptian, does not mean tomb, but there's a separate word and a separate symbol.
Yeah.
The word pyramid means source of energy. Pyros in Greek is fire, even though pyramis means wedding, is the equivalent of wedding cake. It's not wedding cake, but
Yeah.
it's a wedding cake shaped thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, even in the wording, it's interesting.
Well, and I mean, I think it's even more crazy. So,
And why build it?
why build it? That's the point. Is
Do
because
you put a dead body in such a big thing? Come on
now. But I
Not
think
even
it was,
Napoleon is that megalomany.
right. But wasn't it Tesla that put together the same technology? Nikola Tesla. He put together that same technology as what they think the pyramids were built for.
Okay.
It's electrical energy is
The
what coils essentially. Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah. And then if you go into like some of the quote unquote rooms or tombs inside the pyramids, some of that stuff is blocked off. There's a really crazy video that I saw where they tried to go down it, but it was completely dark. And then they went back up to get flashlights and came back down, and then it was closed off. You can look at this stuff online. But that to me is kind of crazy, to where there's parts of the pyramid that the public isn't allowed in. And that always is a red flag to me, especially with something so old and so unique to our world history. You should be able to scour, in Antarctica, it's the same thing. You should be able to scour every part of the planet. You know, no matter what country you come from, you should be able to walk around and you should be able to look at these different parts.
They allow you close to volcanoes.
They allow you above volcanoes to hang over in a helicopter.
The fuck? Nope.
And I can't go inside the pyramid, the whole thing? Come on, something's up there.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you always bring up the whole discussion of it's different than normal. we're allowed to do this, why we're not allowed to do this?
Yeah.
That's how the conspiracy. There it is, the Tesla coils.
Yeah. So this is it. So in 1905, Tesla filed a patent in the U.S. titled "The Art of Transmitting Electrical Energy Through the Natural Medium." And then his triangle-shaped design became known as Tesla's electromagnetic pyramid. Every time there's like a mass discovery like this, like electromagnetic fields and a new technology, the people die. It's like the same thing that happened with Byrd when he discovered Antarctica and he did his trip, right? He died, and then immediately afterwards they signed the Antarctica Treaty. Like there's these weird things that happen. Or again, you're about to testify against Boeing, and then you end up...
And then you die. Heart attack.
You end up having a heart failure. Get the fuck out.
Maybe you got so emotional that you died. You got so excited. I'm going to put Boeing down. Oh!
Dude, that's another wicked thing, man. And that's like even more crazy, where I think people's eyes are starting to open up now, because when you see that type of stuff go down, because that to me should be like, that should be news everywhere. That's a big deal. This guy is the whistleblower for Boeing, and he's saying all these things, and then he dies, and then that's it. Boeing still has planes on the planet. They're still up in the air. You might have had a friend that went on a Boeing plane, but no good. It's all good. It's over with.
But they confirmed that they're now hiring a more diverse employment.
Which, by the way, I think I speak for all Americans. A diverse workforce is not what we need.
No, we need an international mind. We need to have points of view of everybody. Però cazzo, competency comes before everybody else. You were talking about the safety of people.
Yeah. And
we're talking about the safety of people.
Yeah, I mean, because that's a big thing, right? That's, it's kind of going back a little bit to like nutrition and things that we've talked about on previous episodes. But when it comes to things like that, like doctors here in America, they don't have to take any studying on nutrition. They don't have to get a degree in nutrition. And we know now that food's very important. So it's like you want the best people giving you advice. And the bottom line, unfortunately, is there's a lot of doctors, just like there's a lot of people in the airline industry and all that. They're not the best at what they do. And that's unfortunate, because these are, you're fucking with people's lives, And there's a lot of companies, even companies I worked for before I owned my own company, where we would literally, I was in charge of hiring people. I won't mention the company, but we had to meet a certain requirement of Hispanics and African Americans, and you had to do it. So even if there was another person qualified, maybe they were Chinese or white or whatever, if we didn't hit that certain amount,
you couldn't.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Wow.
And that's a real thing, man. I mean,
you guys are the country of meritocracy. People look you up for it. Why you switching it completely? You're a country where if you want to work your ass off, you can actually find a position. Why you are doing a 360? Dude,
it's a great question.
But maybe you got conspiracies. I fucking love it.
And there was a lot more where that came from. Did you have
good. It was pretty good.
Did you have fun diving into these weird American conspiracy theories?
I felt either lied to or stupid for looking it up. Does it make sense? It went both ways. Like, no, my view is correct.
Right.
So I'm feeling stupid for looking at this stuff. No, the other was like, this makes fucking sense. I've been lied to for 13 years. So I was like, both. Like the ones of the films, I'm like, what the hell?
I know.
That really got me.
Well, dude, and what's even gnarly about like just diving into conspiracy theories as a whole is like, this is stuff that we can find online.
Yeah.
So it makes you think, they're suppressing something. This isn't all the information. Like Google, there's no way Google is giving us all the information. They give you a little bit because they don't want to be in the headlines saying that they're not showing us all the information. But like, imagine how many people talked about Antarctica, or how many people talked about the ice wall. Or maybe there's like, you're telling me there's not a pilot that owns his own plane that tried to drive to Antarctica or fly to Antarctica? Of course there is. But if he posted something, it probably got removed, right? Like, imagine the things that we can't find. Because if we're able to find this shit, it's squirrely. You know, it's like the government hiding everything.
Let me become a
with
Freemason
UFOs.
and you go into Scientology and let's figure out shit. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Dude, you know, Scientology is close to where I'm at, so it'd be easy for me to hop
Hell
over there.
yeah.
And,
Hell yeah. Let's do this.
yeah, it's like an hour away. I'll just go knock on the door. Is
Then we
Tom
put a
Cruise, John
podcast,
Travolta there?
We're gonna get a heart attack.
Yeah.
All
right, so for everyone just listening, I'll leave all the research and the links that we talked about today. I'll leave that in the description. And then also make sure you check out Amadeo on TikTok and Instagram. Amadeo, give them your handles and all that jazz, where they could find you, what you got going on, all that stuff.
Yashi Project on TikTok and Yashi on YouTube.
Yashi.
Nice and shit.
And for us, you know, Americans, that Jashi. Shashi. All right, cool, man. Well, hey, this was fun. You got anything else to add, bud?
That's all. Thank you for always having me. I love this. For me, it's always a nice experience.
Yeah, me too, man. And we just got to get you down to Florida and we could do this shit in person. That's the key.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
Ciao, bambini.